Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Dayta Marketing, a social media marketing company located in St. Cloud, Minnesota. My name is Luke Reardon, the CEO and founder of the company, and I've also got my coach and mentor here, Brian Myers. So, a quick history of Dayta Marketing. I founded the company while I was studying at St. John's University in 2011. The idea came from an internship that I conducted at a medical center in my hometown of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. The doctors at the clinic liked my work so much that they asked me to continue doing the social media and digital marketing for them as I went back to St. John's University. And I thought to myself, if I can do it remotely and successfully, why can't I do this for other businesses as well? I contacted my uncle, John Reardon, who's a seasoned businessman and entrepreneur. He had brought that business savvy, I brought the digital marketing side of it, and we got running in 2012 in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and started marketing. And since then, we've experienced rapid growth. If you've been following Facebook's earnings, they're taking market share from more of the traditional advertising forms, and we are riding that same exact wave. And we now have 27 full-time employees in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and our average age of employment at Dayta is 29 years old. Our core competencies, these are the problems that we are solving for businesses, and we are doing it in a digital manner, and we are always focused through social and digital marketing and solving these problems. When it comes to our mission and vision, we look at what we're doing, our purpose, our why as a business. We're focused on one central theme, and that is we strongly believe that it takes full dedication in order to have great social and digital marketing, and you need deep expertise in certain areas, and it's not a part-time gig. It's not a part-time job to do it well. You need to put full force and full focus on it. Here's a little bit about our process. We have, over the past 4.5 years, tailored this process, and it's now become a proven process that we know generates results and is a huge win for our clients when it comes to the value proposition that we offer to them. And it's always based on how do we further our knowledge of our clients and further discovery and learn about their business so that we can best represent them online. That's what it's based on. Financial performance of the past. Our first 2 years, we were able to show profit, and then as we began to grow and build up our number of employees, we focused and began investing in our operations. And as you can see, the key number there that we're watching is that revenue per employee as it continues to increase over the years. One of the things that we've been doing as it relates to investing in our operations, we often call ourselves high-tech and high-touch business. The high-tech side is our dashboard. We've developed a proprietary software that allows us to better communicate with our clients and allows us to constantly conduct discovery of their business, because we know that in the first couple of weeks when we're going through that set of process, we're not going to get all the information that we possibly can. It takes time. It happens over time. We need to continually communicate with them. It is not a replacement for communication. It only enhances transparency as to what we are doing on the reporting side, content, the strategy. We put that transparency up front so we can hold ourselves accountable to the work that we're conducting on their behalf. And from this, we are beginning to build data intelligence. And that comes from that high-tech, high-touch portion of our company as well. This dashboard is going to allow us, as we begin to focus on certain industries that we have proven to be successful within, golf courses, credit unions, just to name a few, auto industry. As we begin to focus in on certain industries, we are going to be able to show a roadmap for those clients who are within those industries as to what is going to lead to ROI for their specific business objectives, because we know from our past experience what works and, more importantly, what doesn't. Now we are focusing on the future, moving forward, and investing in growth. Since our operations have been, we've spent a lot of time and effort in building that up. The exciting part here is what we have to come. 50% of all of our new business over the past year has been generated from client referrals. We've spent very little effort on actually reaching out to new customers. This is going to be our new focus. And in those categories, like I mentioned, the 50% client referrals, our other piece, we're going to find associations which our ideal industries have high presence within and target them, because we believe that 30% number can go much higher from there through speaking and educational events, webinars, etc. A little bit of a clip for our financial performance in the future here. The key thing to look at, once again, revenue per employee. It will continue to climb as we go. See, the really exciting part here is we project through our cash flow analysis that we'll become cash flow positive by the end of 2017. And for us, that's what we're working towards. We're working towards profitability, because we know that we were able to prove that this business is profitable on a small scale, and on a larger scale, that's where it becomes a much more exciting story, when we start to add clients that not only are in our ideal industry, where we're going to have high client retention rate, but also they're going to generate more revenue for us, and we're going to be able to offer a higher value proposition for them as well. Now the question that I have for you all today is right here on the board. We're excited about expanding our sales efforts, and as we grow our operations and scale our company, both on the sales and on the technology and relationship side, I'd like to ask you, where do you think some of our, some areas that we're going to run into that we might need to look ahead at and plan for in the future? Yes?
So as you're looking at going nationally, are you going to have sales representatives within each area, or are you going to be doing everything remotely?
The hope is to have a distributed workforce at one point. Now for our sales team, so that's the goal, I would say, but for the short term, we do see bringing on salespeople who focus within certain industries that already have a network that could open the door for us. We do have a high close rate, and we just need to talk to people and show them our value proposition. So that's, yeah, great question. But hopefully to keep them in-house in St. Cloud, at least for this foreseeable future.
For the purpose of the video, we do have a microphone, so please wait till you have a microphone to ask questions or give feedback.
Hi, how are you different, or how do you compete with programs like Sprout Social?
Yeah, great question, by the way. The dashboard that I showed you is not a Hootsuite, a Sprout Social, which is what I would term as a software as a service business, meaning that we are actually the ones. We have 27 people, plus contractors, etc. We create the content. We communicate with you. You get a dedicated person who has a team of copywriters, graphic designers behind them, web developers, etc. to do the work. Sprout Social still requires you to type in the posts. It tries to make you more efficient, and in our opinion, that's not the right way to approach social marketing.
How do you handle the owner's authenticity of voice? So you say you do everything for the client, right? But the client is then not saying anything. Is it about training the client to do more, or is it you guys handle everything for them and they outsource it?
No, we absolutely don't want us to just handle everything. We focus in on that partnership. So what we always do is we identify a point person or point people within that organization, typically the marketing, somebody from within the marketing department. And then we have our point person, who we call our client services lead. And those two communicate with each other, or if there's more point people within the organization, they're emailing back and forth on a weekly basis. And then we're always having one monthly standing meeting to talk about metrics, business objectives, where we can review. And we're building that recipe within each industry as to how much communication it takes, and in order to have a proper discovery process to make sure that we can represent that brand. But it's a partnership. We want to be viewed as almost like an employee of that organization.
What experience have you had so far with your employee retention, recognizing that they're all
pretty young, very technically savvy, very mobile themselves. I can see that as potentially kind of disruptive to be continually hiring and losing people.
Yeah, great question. First of all, we have a very high employee retention rate at about 80%. So compared to the industry average for digital marketing firms, it's closer to 40 to 50. And the other thing with our employee retention rate and how we keep them engaged is we focus a lot on coaching and mentoring with our company. So we have a company culture. I'll show you a little bit about that. With our values here, that we've tailored. One of the first things that I asked Brian to do is sit down and interview each employee and see what do they care about. When they go home, what makes it a good day? And that's how we created our company values and our mission and our vision. And so we're working on constantly tailoring our work to what they want. And one of the big ones is we work to live. Millennials, they're okay with blending work and life, but it's important that we respect that value, that if they want to go home, at 5 o'clock on a Friday, they can. And so we pay a lot of attention to that. And the other thing, we do not have a hiring problem when it comes to finding good talent. Just this year alone, we have over 250 applicants for a couple positions that we've had open. And so we've got a big pool that's waiting to join our company, and we've had a good retention rate as well. Yes.
Just curious as to which social media platforms you find work best with your system, as far as, do you do Facebook more, LinkedIn, Twitter, or all of the above equally?
It always depends on the client, but typically, speaking in generalities, Facebook is still the 800-pound gorilla in the room. It dominates. People talk about it slowing down. It's growing at a 17% annual clip when it comes to mobile daily active users year over year. They're not slowing down. I mean, people like to see Snapchat and all these other fun ones pop up, but Facebook is still the 800-pound gorilla. But we get very industry specific. For wedding venues and event centers, for example, we use Wedding Wire and not Pinterest more often. Those sites tailor towards brides and grooms.
Would you say that your business is more based around the services you're providing and less that dashboard? That dashboard is basically a benefit you provide if someone uses you to manage all of this for them?
Absolutely. We don't charge for our dashboard. You can't buy our dashboard as a standalone service. So you're spot on. When we talk about the dashboard, it is just that. It's a benefit. It's some of the things that it's not, like I mentioned, it's not software as a service. It's not marketing automation. It doesn't allow you to post from it and get it pushed right to Facebook. We do that for you. You don't have to worry about that. It allows us to have that transparent communication that is so necessary when we're working with clients in Florida, California, Pennsylvania. That reporting, real-time stuff. That's what it does for us.
So where do you put up the hurdles question to us, but we can turn around and just ask you, what do you think your biggest pain point is for growth? Or where do you see that, maybe that, or the opposite of that, where do you see the biggest opportunity?
For us, it's, and thank you. For us, it's generating leads within our specific industry. It takes a long time. One example, we've decided that golf courses, larger, higher end golf courses are a great fit for us. They usually have a wedding venue right on. They've got a restaurant within their facilities. It makes a lot of sense. As an example, last year, February of 2015, this time around, 15, sorry. We started contacting the NGCOA, the National Golf Course Association, told them we want to be a part of it. We wanted to, eventually be able to educate their members on the benefits of social media. just now, and then in February of this year, we went to San Diego, we presented at their national conference, and now we're doing ongoing webinars, and we're beginning to generate clients within that industry now. We've gotten 3 out of that relationship, but that's a year later, and so the sales cycle is longer, and that's one of our challenges. Also, just we want to build trust, and building trust within a certain industry often takes time, and so we're trying to break down that barrier.
What is your pricing structure like, and how can you convince someone that they need to outsource it to you and that you can do it better than they can do it internally?
Great question. Pricing structure, I'll first get to that one. When it comes to our pricing, these are typical numbers. I mean, it's custom price for every proposal we write, but speaking in broad sense, we have a setup fee that's about $1,250 on average, and then we get into the monthly side where we begin communicating, just posting on their platforms, targeting their market, creating blogs, stuff like that. That can range from anywhere from $900 per month to like $8,000 to $10,000 per month. But on average, it's probably right around $1,000 per month that our clients will spend with us.
How about why?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you. That's why he's here. He not only brings up the age, but he also brings me up too, as far as average. But the why people would work with us and the value proposition, to me, I love talking about this the most, because you can either hire somebody or a team of your own people, bring them on as salaried employees, because I truly believe that's the only way that you can compete against this. You'd have to have somebody who is a very talented graphic designer, has the ability to analyze web analytics, be able to develop websites, be talented copywriter. Often graphic designers and copywriters, those two brains are not the same. And as long with that, they have to be great project managers and good with time management, because you look at your calendar, okay, I've got to tweet 5 times today, and then I've got to post on Facebook, I've got to respond to some customers that have questions, I've got to make sure that I'm generating reviews. It takes a team of people, and we have specialized ourselves so that we can be more efficient within those certain niches that digital marketing demands you to be good within. So you could either try hiring a team, but I think you have to hire 5 people in order to keep up with us from I guess just a digital marketing standpoint. And we do it at about, call it 1/3 of the cost, maybe half of the cost. Yes.
You've mentioned golf courses as a prospective client. Can you give a generic description of your sweet spot customer, best customer potential?
Sure. As more examples, were you saying, or just expand more on the business?
Description, revenue, how much revenue do they have, how many employees?
Sure. So a general business characteristics I would look for outside of, I would say actually inside these industries, they're doing about at least $1 million in revenue. They've got anywhere from 5 to 200 employees, maybe even 300-400 employees. They've got somebody within their organization that they can communicate to us. That's a must. That can spend time talking to us. And then the other part of that too is that they have, that person that we're communicating with has at least a baseline understanding of digital marketing. And the other thing too is that they're a good business, that they have a good reputation, or at least a decent one online, and they want to improve, they want to grow. We've worked with companies in the past where we've set them up, we started advertising, getting their word out, and boy, the negative reviews started flooding in. The company that we were working with didn't want to really spend a lot of time with it, and when you get out there in the digital marketing world, you're raising your hand and saying, hey, we're here, talk to us. You better be ready for what your customers have to say. And so we vet out every one of our clients to find out if they're a good business too. Got a question up here.
How are you dealing with the customer like me? I mean, and the end customer, not your customer, but the customer of your customer. For example, an auto dealer.
Yeah.
If I look on the internet and I look at a car, how do you prevent me from being inundated with, after I've bought the car with additional advertising?
Great question. A lot of things that we can do, to prevent against that. Specifically talking about your example with ads, we're able to monitor the amount of it's called frequency, which is how many times an individual on average has seen this ad, and we can set that frequency level to 1 all the way up to 20 or higher. And so we can monitor that, and we're always looking at how effective the ad is. If the higher the frequency and it's turning out that it's producing more conversions and better business, we're going to push towards a higher frequency rate. But the other thing that we need to know too, and this goes back to partnership and discovery with our clients, we need to know the sales process. So if, for example, you are in an auto dealer's CRM system, customer relations management tool, if they close a deal on you, we want to make sure that we know about that, or we know at least that you get switched to a different, say it's email marketing. We switch you out of the group where you're not interested in trucks anymore because you just bought one, and we move you more to the service side, get your oil changed, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just a question about Facebook. What percentage of your time / cost to customer will be applied toward maintaining a Facebook presence for their page versus just targeted advertising on Facebook?
Yeah, that's a good question. What percentage of our time is dedicated? I don't have a hard number for you on that one, but it's probably around 50%, I would say. Just because, well, maybe even higher, 75. And it's due to the fact that content is not getting any more valuable. It's only getting more valuable in today's world. As Facebook continues to monetize their platform, they are making it, I would say, harder for businesses to reach larger audiences. At the same time of providing you these tools to reach them. And so we have to spend time on having really solid creative, making sure that our ads are speaking to our customer, or just the content that we're posting speaking to our customer. And also, all that goes into kind of the big chunk of our time on Facebook.
Luke, how much would somebody be spending ad-wise versus management fee-wise?
Oh, yeah, and there's another, okay, got it. So the question, how much would somebody be spending on their ads versus the management fee? We have a breakdown where we charge 25% for every ad dollar paid towards Facebook. So if you have a $100 budget, we're going to charge $25 to manage those ads on a monthly basis. And then $75 goes to Facebook.
We have time for one more question.
I was just wondering about if you utilize video creation or management with your clients, and if so, do you kind of create that yourself, or more so have your client do it and just promote it, or do you not utilize videos as much as photos and different things?
Yeah, we want to use video as much as possible. We're constantly working on making video creation and production less expensive. And that we do that a lot through social video, where it's just quick moving images, graphics, things like that, because Facebook is putting a big favoritism on video. And what I mean by that is when we post a video, we often get 2 cents per video view on Facebook as far as our cost for our clients' customers to see that video. And so we know that the more video we can produce on behalf of our client, it's going to take their ad dollars and take them farther than any other type of media as it relate to photos or blogs or links, etc. So we're putting a big effort in on video, and we encourage our customers to constantly send us that type of material too. And we'll create it if if they want us to create a specific video too. We do create videos as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Luke. Next up, we have Amanda from